Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Robot Boy, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at the upcoming PS4 exclusive Spider-Man. Oh my god, cannot wait. So today I'm going to be running you through my top 5 features that haven't been announced yet, but I do hope to see in the game at launch. Now, we haven't had like a ton of details released to us yet about what is in the game. Here I'm going to be talking about things that I hope realistically could still be in the game that they haven't yet announced. So I am definitely hoping to make more videos on this game as well, especially in the lead up to its release, which at the moment is still unknown, but I'm sure we're going to get some sort of details on it soon, especially as the God of War game just got its release date, so, you know, here's hoping.
All units, 1010S at 36 and Park.
So number 1, a solid variety in missions and stuff to do in the open world. Okay, that was quite a long-winded number 1, but the thing about a lot of open world games today, you probably heard the term open world fatigue, where there's a lot of space, there's a lot of openness, but there's not a lot to actually do in it. Besides going from A to B to start a new mission, there is stuff to do, but it's hardly like fulfilling. The best game I can think of recently that's had a lot of good things to do is Horizon Zero Dawn. You know, all of the side quests and errands were pretty much as fleshed out as the main story itself. You didn't have to be a part of it, but if you did, it was definitely worth taking part. Now, obviously in Spider-Man, it's going to be an open world game, a bit different to Horizon Zero Dawn, so you're going to want to be saving stuff, and that's the thing I want to be able to do with Spider-Man, you know, as well as doing the main epic story missions. I just want to be able to just be Spider-Man, swing about, a little trigger pops up, boom, you know, you've got to go save someone, you got to go fix this, you got to go help someone, you've got to catch a criminal in time, you've got to save someone from the burning building, and enough variety in these side missions that you're not sort of seeing the same. Once you get past 10, you're seeing the same things repeated. I want to see like tens and tens and tens and tens of things with different variations, different places popping up. That would be so cool. As well as this, I'm also hoping for a side mode or triggers on the map that can start challenges to face off against people on an online leaderboard. And with this, I'm thinking of sort of the challenge maps from the Arkham series, you know, stealth scenarios or full-on fighting arenas. You know, you're just in a certain area, you've got just unlimited bad guys dropping in, you've got to try and get the highest combo score, as well as maybe movement trials and races. That's what I want to see, a world filled with stuff to do. Number 2, interiors. Now, we've seen some clips from the trailers that show Spidey swinging through interiors of buildings. One was part of a quick time event, the other one in the original trailer seemed more like it was part of general gameplay, which was promising. And the most recent story trailer also showcased the interior of Grand Central Station, which it'd be cool if we could just freely enter and exit these landmarks outside of the specific missions. We've also seen a lot of focus on Peter Parker as a main character, not just sort of a throwaway mention of him in between certain parts of the game. It's seeming that you can play as him as quite a significant part of the story, which is cool. And because of this, I assume we'll be playing as him inside. Like, you know, I can't see most of his stuff happening outside. I assume they'll be giving us interior areas to walk around in. And I'm therefore hoping that we can access these same places when we don the suit. I'd love to actually be able to be in Peter's apartment as Peter, you then suit up and then you jump out the window as Spider-Man. You know, it's not just it being a separate instance or a menu where you click it, you know, you can actually be Spider-Man, be Peter Parker, go up to the wardrobe, put the suit on, jump out the window. Additionally, I do hope that there are lots of interiors to buildings generally in the open world. Even if they're just generic, it would be cool. It would make traversal and fighting much more dynamic. Instead of just being forced to be outside, you know, you could draw enemies inside to buildings or get pushed into buildings and suddenly the fight is outside and now it's suddenly inside. I'm thinking of examples from Ubisoft IPs which seem to do it well, like Assassin's Creed or the latest Ghost Recon game, where there's lots and lots of open buildings that you can walk through. Obviously, Spider-Man being set in New York City is going to be on a much grander scale, much more complex scale, but a variety of at least some sort of access to buildings on different levels would be a nice addition to exploration. Number 3, upgrade systems. And I'm not talking like a big RPG sense with hundreds of different skill trees and everything, but I'm thinking more in a customizable, personalized, incentive way to unlock and develop upgrades over time. Now, the Spider-Man we see in this game is going to be an experienced Spider-Man. I think he's going to have been in the role for 8 years already. I think it's 8 years. That's a long time. So it would be so silly for us to start with no extra abilities, no skills, as I'm sure he would have had access to all of these additional powers by this point in time. So what I'd like to see is some sort of loadout-esque approach to our character, whereby we can only equip a maximum amount of powers at a time. For example, in Arkham Knight, you have access to every single gadget and upgrade all the time by a certain point in the game. You can use anything you want at any time. It makes you very overpowered very quickly. I would like to see a limit on how many upgrades and abilities we can equip at a time, making it a more personalised and tactical decision when gearing up for a specific fight. I'm thinking more like Horizon Zero Dawn, where you can unlock all of the epic weapons, but you can still only equip up to 4 at a time no matter what point in the game you're at, and it makes you choose wisely what works together and for what situation. Number 4, photo mode. Oh, I do love me a good photo mode. I mean, if you've seen my No Man's Sky and Horizon Zero Dawn videos, you'll know I do. Spider-Man seems like a perfect opportunity for a photo mode, considering all of the different animations, stunt sequences, combat scenarios, movements, set pieces, and just the general scope of the open world that will be included in the game. It's going to be an absolute shame if it's not in there, and I can't see why they wouldn't put it in. And finally, number 5, different suits. Now, I can't really think of a Spider-Man game that hasn't actually given you the option to change your appearance, just due to the crazy variety in costumes and styles over the years. I can't imagine why Insomniac wouldn't include this option for their game either, especially considering that the MCU Spider-Man suits have not yet been implemented into a game. You know, since the last Spider-Man game to release, we've had Civil War, and then we've had the Homecoming on its own, so we've got all these different suits, and then we've got, by the time this comes out, I assume it's going to be after Infinity War, and we're going to have the Iron Spider suit in there, so there's going to be loads to choose from by that point. I know Insomniac want to have their own unique Spider-Man in this with his own suit, so, you know, maybe at the end of the game you can then unlock the suits and play back, you know, New Game Plus, you can play new suits. I can see why they would do that, but it would just be amazing to see these suits in there in some form. And potentially it would also be amazing to see different playable characters. You know, we are going to be able to play as Mary Jane, and obviously I know Peter Parker is the same character, but it's still different. You know, you can play as Peter Parker walking around, so maybe different characters, maybe Miles Morales is Spider-Man, maybe Venom. Oh my god, please let us play as Venom, please. Yeah, but I can't see that happening right off the bat. For now, I would just be happy with different costumes for Spider-Man. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the huge support recently. And I do hope to see you guys again as we continue to build this channel together. So please leave your thoughts below. Do you agree with any of these points I've made? What do you want to see in the game upon release? And are you also excited for Spider-Man just as much as I am? If you are, please give the video a like. Please subscribe to the channel and join me on this journey. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.